But Tina, can you tell us a little bit about the pathway to gain that knowledge? How to go through, for example, the project management essentials that we have on disaster ready?
So what we did is PM for NGOs, Pyramid Learning, and Disaster Ready about a year ago recognized that there was a great opportunity, that there was a gap. And so a great opportunity to fill that gap with some online learning that would allow any aid development worker, partner agency, to be able to log in online and for free learn basic project management skills. So we called it the Project Management Essentials Certificate. This is an assessment-based certificate, and the reason why I'm emphasizing that is because it's 5 courses. It takes about 5 hours. It goes through each key phase of project management, from planning to closing the project. And once you've completed the 5 courses, then you take a 45 question test. And if you pass with 75% or greater, then you're issued a badge and a completion certificate. And so we found that this was a key need so that individuals who, let's say you're just starting out and maybe you've been working in your organization for quite some time, but as John alluded to a little earlier, you may have a natural disaster that hits, and then all of a sudden it's all hands on deck. Whatever you were doing, you're now not doing, and then you're focused on being able to provide aid as quickly as possible. And someone's got to plan and manage that project to get that done. So part of this was meeting a need to say you can access this training immediately to be able to take it. You can use it as refresher training for career progression. And then what I equally get excited about is a learning pathway. So you don't want to just stop at building basic skills. As you move on in your career or doing more and more humanitarian and development work, then you want to advance those skills. And this was created so that it was the first step. You take this as a first step, then your next step is to advance through Project D Pro certification, which Edson will talk a little bit more about. But that enables you to really demonstrate your competency. That's a full-blown certification where you become an international, project manager, certified project manager. So to tell you a little bit more about the course itself, it's a little bit more unique. It was designed with a higher level of interaction. So what you see on the slides here, John and I, these are our 2 friends, good friends, Adesh and Esther. Esther is an experienced project manager, and Adesh is a new project manager. So the course is scenario-based. As you go through it, Adesh is learning from Esther the tools, the principles, the obstacles that you face typically whenever implementing a project in the humanitarian or development context, either one. And so as they do that, then Adesh asks questions, and she's able to coach him on that. The other thing that learners tell us they really like about this training is that it allows them an opportunity to think about, well, how would you make a decision in this particular situation? And then they see the outcome of that. Then they can go back and they can select a different way, a different choice, and then they can see the outcome of that decision. And then that just helps them learn. If you handle a stakeholder or forget to handle a stakeholder in this way, then these are real life examples of what can happen and what that can lead to. I'm really pleased to say there are downloadable tools and templates. You use them throughout the scenario in the courses, but really then you can download them and start to use them immediately for the work that you're doing. The other thing that I wanted to mention is that all the content is based on the Project D Pro guide. And why that is a benefit is because it allows, as the sector, it allows us to have a common terminology, common framework, common processes, common tools, so that we tend to work in different organizations. We tend to work together in a humanitarian response and development with one another. And sometimes we're just not speaking the same language. We may mean the same thing, but it takes us longer to figure out if we're not communicating it effectively and in the same way. So I get excited that this training is aligned with Project D Pro and enables that professionalization in the sector. And then just to share, it was a year ago that we launched the English version of Project Management Essentials. And since that time, in that year, we've had almost 7,000 people complete all 5 courses and pass their test, so they achieve their certificate. And there's about almost 44,000 people right now currently in process of the English version. Just 8 weeks ago, we launched this entire program in French and Spanish. And so in that 8-week period, you can see from the slide, we already have about almost 6,000 people in Spanish and French in total that are in the process of taking it, and about 300 people almost that have earned their certificate. So I say that because obviously there's demand, there is value. And I think that's what we want to talk a little bit more today about is, what is that value? Why should you take the time to do this and actually get your certificate and then move on to advance your skills into certification? So I'll stop there.
Thank you, Tina. Those are amazing results. And I couldn't agree more that you again mentioned that we should create a common language. And that goes in the direction of what are the deep pros and the Project Deep Pro and what PM4NGOs offer as well. So, and we have a question actually that connects what you were saying and what I am going to say. We have a question from Adobli and Sheila. I completed the Project Manager Essential Certificate. So what is next for me? So you can now go and take the certification exam, which is a little bit more comprehensive. The Essentials is the very first step in the entry level. It has a very big value for your learning, but then you can read the guide, you can go through the entire content and take the certification exam to become a Project Deep Pro certified professional. And PM4NGOs not only have the Project Pro, but also the MEO Deep Pro, the Program Deep Pro, and the Finance Deep Pro. All those certifications have been designed to be accessible for the community-based organization. That goes back to what John and Tina said. We want the community-based organizations, the local professionals, to have access to take a certification that is recognized by the sector. This is a little bit of the overview of the Deep Pro, and I invite you to visit the PM4NGO's website to take a look at the other Deep Pros. But also, you also see that a Disaster Ready also have other skills and other courses that would be supplemental to the Project Management Essential. So answering the question, I finished the Essentials, what else should I do? Depending on what you're doing on your work, you'll be looking for, well, to get the certification on PM4NGOs, and also to get other courses from Pyramid and Disaster Ready to supplement what you just learned. If you work with risk management, if you work with logistics, if you work in the financial area, you can look for different courses on Pyramid and Disaster Ready.